Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black channel here, Ticker Talker, and if it's Tuesday, it's the Strat Attack show. So let's get in the urban assault vehicle and see what we can dig up for you. So we're coming into the end of the month, and we still have some earnings coming out, but so far, twos and twos and just going up. So if you go to SPY, still monthly, handily two into new highs, just exhaustion risk. But you hear everybody, although so many people trying to pick a top and stuff, and like, look, you need to have a reversal. Do you have a reversal in the monthly? You're nowhere near that, right? So if you think they're going to really kill them, you're nowhere near that. If you go to the weekly, here, tight range, still two and up. Now, I mean, next week could change things. You got a new month, and then when you do stair step like this, we call that the pivot machine gun if they come back through. But if you jump the gun, if you don't have that reversal, which you don't on the weekly and you don't have it on the daily. If you go to the NASDAQ QQQ here, we had a bad tick this afternoon, so it appears that it's not an inside day, but it doesn't matter because really we had some earnings sales force and stuff like that, and it's taken through right now anyway. So Qs, are you a reversal on the month? Nowhere near it. On the weekly, still tight range, right? But nowhere near a major reversal on a monthly basis. Still walking up and stair stepping. People are like, how far could it go? I'm like, more than pain than you can take. So still good on that. If you go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, a little more sluggish, but you go inside week and up very slightly, but you are. And so you can pay attention to that if anything starts to move over there. And, we look around for the things that are still month and upper and whatnot. You got your Nike still month and up, Disney, McDonald's over there, still all month and uppers for a little bit longer here. So we'll see how that goes. Small cappers, still inside month to the upside, so no reversal there. Weekly, still an inside week, and you were down last week. So the hopes for people that want this stuff to tank would be stuff like if you can get some significant turnaround here on the Dow and the small cappers, you potentially could rev strat, right? But you're just not near it right now, right? So you'd have to wait for that to set up as opposed to always trying to anticipate stuff, right? So if we take a look at gold, in gold, red on the month, and a lot of this stuff, inside week, it's not really falling apart, but we still want to pay attention. And silver, here, it's just poking down a little bit, so you can see like stuff like GDX. It's very slight, but you can look around. If things start to go, you'll know what's happening, right? So not that big, but what is big C. Look at this baby. Now here, Rev Strat Monther. And this thing really heated up today, so you can see the inside bar. Then you poke down, stop them out. And then, boom, back to the previous range. So if you're new to all this stuff, the reason that works is this is an equilibrium. It wasn't strong enough to take out the highs or the lows. The one side tried to take it out, but then this is why it's a reversal, right? Equilibrium, attempt to go one way, thwarted, I think not. Let's go the other way. On the daily, that gives you this big, long green bar. And so that's what we like when we see weeklies and monthlies and all that kind of stuff looking like that. So for a trading standpoint, we'll be staying on this thing, and you can see there's a real nice 30 at the end of the day. Right here. Lull them to rip them apart, lull them to sleep, blast them into the close. So for trading, I certainly would keep an eye on that. Anything that's moving around that much certainly is going to get our attention. We've got a high concentration of inside days in some of the bigger names for tomorrow. And so that's going to have something to do with what the rest of the week looks like, because your Tesla's inside day, NVIDIA, and then Netflix. And so Netflix doesn't surprise me, because one of the problems a lot of traders have is that they get caught in too short of a time frame to see what's going on. So we know that now it's in the middle of this thing again, right? Tight, which we could expect, because from the get-go, we were pretty damn sure this is going inside month. And look at this. It opened at 490.86. It's moved 30 cents. So in general, that's why you want to start on longer term stuff to see if it's really doing anything. But it is a concentration of inside days, so that could have an effect on how everything plays out, because you got inside days for Amazon, you got ZM, you got Roku inside doing nothing. So this is why it's important not just to scan for things, but to look at them. And so Roku's an inside day, but look at this range, right? And so when you see something this tight, more often than not, you can take the initial break, but then it's either got to stay above that or below that. And if it doesn't, this is going to be the middle of the new tribe. More often than not, when people say it's coiling, it's really coiling. Usually, more often than not, it takes out both sides, right? It doesn't give you a clean break, but we'll see. So just be aware of all these inside days coming in tomorrow, LRCX, SWKS and the semis, all these kind of things. So we'll see what comes of all that. But on a weekly basis, what we do have, the inside weekend uppers, you got Facebook. Facebook taking the inside weekend up, and then you just look for yourself and get yourself a nice inside 30. Let's see. Oh, this is a nice one here. And then, so it's exhaustion risk because it is going into new highs, right? Doesn't mean it's going to fade. It just means, it might stall out. But you do have that signal still good with AMD here. And AMD tried to spook them a little bit on the daily, and I'll show you why. So, Monday, yesterday, it broke the inside week. I'm sorry, yesterday it went up and broke the inside week, but then came back in. It wasn't weak enough to take this out, so the question was, are you going to go compound 3 bar? It poked down a little bit to try this morning, but once this goes back green, now you're back to inside week and up, and you're back to full time frame continuity, the upside, right here. And then you can expect this to take that out. And then if you just wait, some people are like, I missed it. You're going to see this here, the inside bar, the poke down, the rev strat, boom, right through here. Anybody shorting this thing? Short against that, or where they got in. And that's why you have these explosive moves when you come back through previous ranges, or you wait for what we say, triangle the out right here. Boom. Corrective activity. There's your 2-2 back up on the 15. See? Not that hard. So you've also got AVGO here, and AVGO has exhaustion risk by going in the highs, but it's still inside month and up, and it's still inside week and up, so you can watch those, how that reacts with the semi breaks on the inside days tomorrow. We also have Groupon, another inside day here, and just remember this was a rev strat here. Here's the 2-2, right? And this is what you wait for, corrective activity. Triangle the out, 2-2 reversal, takes all these guys. This becomes an outside bar of all that. Then here inside, poke down a little bit. There's your rev strat, 1, 2, boom. Now the question is, you get measured move out of this thing here going like that, because another thing we like to look for, especially when things blasting in new highs, first of all, you get the outside bar, so that gives us magnitude to hopefully at least take out 3580. But if you go way back, Groupon used to be somebody, right? So that's what we like to, this could be only the beginning, so we like to look for things like that. You've got Starbucks doing this inside month to the upside, and here's the combinations that we want to look for. Inside month to the upside, and then it's reconfirmed by an inside week to the upside. Now you take this stuff out, so we'll see if it's going to be high enough on that monthly to come up and try and challenge this here. Take that out, 83.62, almost there. We'll see how that goes. Little guy go-go, and little guy go-go, once again, go-go used to be somebody too, but just an inside week to the upside and a little guy to keep an eye on. Nice percentage mover. We'll see if anything more comes of that. Qualcomm also inside week and up. So for the most part, simultaneous break to the upside for at least selected tech. PayPal, also an inside week and upper, just going into new highs. So some exhaustion risk on that. The pandemics, see how these guys hold up very slightly. Wynn Resorts and LVS. Inside week to the upside with EXPE. Still holding an inside month to the upside with nobody traveling. But it's been higher, and we just follow the price action because it even brings up TripAdvisor inside month, inside week combo. So it is what it is. All right, if we go to some of the trannies, IYT is inside week to the upside. It's also an inside month to the upside coming back through this range. So we've seen strength in like the Norfolk Southerns of the world, inside month to the upside, and inside week combo. CSX starting to come up a little bit. Inside week, inside month, like so, with the Union Pacific going inside month and into the highs. And that's how you break it down from when you have something like the transports. You can just go look at the subgroups, and there you have it. So who was it? It was the rails. Also had some China on the move, Baidu, and Baidu still stuck as an inside month and an outside day. So we'll see if anything more comes of that, because we want to see if it breaks that inside week, because Baba goes into exhaustion risk up into the highs. You got YY, Nance Kerrigan, going inside week to the upside. And the reason that's important is because we know outside bars exist. So we go looking on the here for the potential 1-bar rev strat month. Going to come up and take this out, 96.88. WB, more China, and not doing much on the month, but you do have your inside week back to the upside if they want to come back through some of that stuff. Also have the team, and the team is nice inside week and up, and you see this, a little different than the other ones going blasting in the highs. This one's triangle day out, took out these lows, right, and potentially coming back through something like this. So the team a little different, see? Go team. That might be too high. Come off of there. There you go. These guys come off of that. So coming back through previous range, we like that. Team, NEO, NIO, inside week to the upside. Nice green monther. You just got some exhaustion risk going into the highs. AMBA. And AMBA waking up here too. And you see late charge on the inside month, outside inside, right? And nice little move here in the last few days, right? Inside day and boom. So this thing's trying to stay firm, so we'll see if there's more to that. On the downside, we got some non-believers. You guys all got vaccines? Oh, hell no. VIR, inside week to the downside, coming back through previous range. All right, so you can see that. We'll see that it's already cleaned these guys out. We'll see if it's weaker in here. So one of the things I talk about is the internal triangle, which is once you get stuck inside a mother bar, that price discovery starts over again. All right, and so what you're going to see here is now you got your slight higher high. Question is now you're going to come ripping back through all here because you ain't got no vaccine, right? So I would definitely keep an eye on VIR on the downside. I know already cratering. Inside week to the downside. Reconfirms the inside month to the downside that we knew about. There's your 212 reversal on the monthly below 1835, trading 1262. NVAX. And NVAX had a nice little comeback during the day. That's the good thing about volatility, volatile stocks, is you can trade them either way. So right now, the question is going to be weak enough to go compound 3 in the month and fall apart. Weekly, it's an inside week to the downside. We knew that. But see, not weak enough to take this stuff down in here just yet, right? So it exhausted a little bit. And this side, we call that country and western. Let's say that you're already short on the downside. Then you get your 60-minute signal and say, I'm going to cover because I got 2, 1 inside and back up and take it back up here, right? And you'll notice that was over 108.60, and it rallied all the way to a high of 17.74 before coming back in. So we'll see what comes of that. It could be an inside day there tomorrow, and then we'll see if that continues on our downside. QDEL, and QDEL came back a little bit on the day today. Just being aware of this inside week to the downside to see if that takes hold again. If we go to GWPH in the bio, inside week to the downside, and that's reconfirming the Rev Strat month. Inside, boom, boom, back down through. So with some trouble going on in GWPH. More healthcare ANTM. Not doing much on the month, but you do have your inside week to the downside. Humana also having a little bit of an issue to start off the week, and you'd see this with the market going up, and ANTM did a very nice little 3-2 there. We'll see. You can watch that with XLV because UNH goes inside day, so that could tell a few tales for the XLV crew tomorrow. You also have AbbVie, and AbbVie, not really puking, but right now is Rev Strat month or Rev Strat weaker below 94.32. You're there, so that would get my attention if it starts coming in. You've got CWH, Camping World, Rev Strat 1-bar inside, up, boom, takes all these guys out. The question is going to be weak enough to go 3 on the month here, so we'll see if we can get any follow through out of that for the rest of the week. Right now, they's in trouble. If you go to AYX, and you'll notice this thing's gapped down and puked and stayed down, and once again, coming back through previous range here. Pivot machine gun having all sorts of problems, and if their hopes was we could go inside week and back up. Right now, you're inside week and down. No such luck. BMRN in the bio. Here's when you go the big pivot machine gun. Just starting off the week a little quiet, but inside day. And here's why when you come back through previous range, it's something you want to know about. Boom. Really getting killed. Etsy. Not getting crushed, but on the radar here because you're inside week and down, right? Is that going to hold? And you're coming into a new month. We'll kind of see that. And Clorox, for some reason, there's no no vaccine, but they're buying TripAdvisor and stuff like that and taking a little profit in Clorox. So you're down inside weak to the downside. Clorox, SDGR here. Little inside week to the downside. But like I said, we're coming into the end of the month. We want to see how that all squares out because we always ask ourselves, what's the next two? And if we're nowhere near twoing back down on monthly stuff, at best, maybe we go inside month for September and really dry up. But that's why we play them as we see them. Wait for reversals. If you're trying to short too early, short things that are going down, buy things that are going up. Mind these inside days tomorrow. We're going to still have some earnings to come, and then we're going to see how everything shapes up coming into the new month. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, this is Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Tiger with Strat Attack.